To be in a sound mind right now is not even, nah, because all I'm doing right now, I keep seeing flashbacks of everything, like everything when I did it and everything people were saying to me before they left. Like I'm still visualizing that now. It's playing back like it's on repeat right now in my head, and all I'm seeing is red. All I see is fire. I don't see no green. I don't see no colors right now. All I see is red. I can see red all over your face right now. I don't see nothing. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, I'm just here right now.
And even as you're seeing those flashbacks, no remorse for what you did.
Nah, because what's done is done. I ain't gonna cry about it. I gotta move through it now until they put me in the chair. However fast that take.
And then earlier today, you mentioned the dog. Just to clarify, did you kill the dog or did the dog die in the fire?
The dog died in the fire, but I let the dog live because that's what she told me to do. She said, "Look, don't hurt him." I mean, I was gonna set him on fire. She said, "Don't hurt him. He had nothing to do with this. This is all my fault. This is me." She said it was her fault because she let her mom come in and kind of mess with her head. I said, "Look, man, don't you?" I said, "So that's how you feel?" She was like, "Look, whatever you gonna do to him, do it to me." So that's when I shot her in the head.
Today, a Virginia Beach judge sentenced Cola Beale in the murders of his girlfriend and the man who raised him. Casey Baylor has the story.
A Virginia Beach judge sentenced Cola Beale to 3 life terms. This morning, several loved ones in court described how the deaths of Xavier Hill and Clifton Baxter have impacted them over the last 2 years.
Life is not yours to take. He went over to Vietnam and fought for our freedom, and then he come home and die on his own soil. Every day has been hard, and it's going to be hard until my Heavenly Father calls me home.
A woman with 2 master's degrees, a thriving business, and who dedicated her entire existence to motivating others.
Today is a new day. Don't let the failures, the fears, the doubts of yesterday stop you from being your best self today. God has gifted you with everything that you need to accomplish all the tasks set before you. You got this. Pray, plan, and execute.
That is who Xavier Hill was. Then she met Cola Beale, a man whose past was filled with serious criminal history. She thought love could transform him, but when her family started questioning his role in her life, things took a turn nobody saw coming. Before we get into it, leave a like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Crime on Pulse so you won't miss the next case. Xavier Hill was born on January 14, 1991, to Calvin and Bonka Hill. Right from her earliest school years, teachers noticed something special about her. The school district placed her in their gifted program, recognizing talents most kids her age didn't have. By the time she was in high school, she'd already earned her certification as an on-air radio announcer, hosting shows on Hampton University's radio station. When she enrolled at Norfolk State University, she co-hosted Golden Message, a campus talk show, while earning her degree in mass communications. She went on to complete a master's in human services counseling at Regent University, then started pursuing a second master's, this time in strategic communications. Delta Sigma Theta sorority welcomed her as a member, and she was given a nickname that captured exactly who she was: static electricity. That energy, that presence she carried everywhere she went. At just 25 years old, she became a homeowner in Virginia Beach. She launched 114 & Company, an agency focused on branding and consulting, working with small businesses to help them find their voice and visibility. Beyond that, she served as a life coach, spoke at events to motivate audiences, consulted on brand strategy, and sang in her church choir, where she also served as a minister. Every Tuesday, she hosted a podcast called Let's Talk Tuesday.
Thank you for joining me for another episode of Let's Talk Tuesday. It's me, Xavier, your hostess with the mostest. Now, before we get started with season 2, I want to take a second and say thank you to everyone who liked, who commented, who shared, who texted, who called, who was just so supportive of the first season of Let's Talk Tuesday, especially because I didn't really know what I was doing. It was something I knew God had given me to do, and I was just figuring it out as I went along the way. But you all were so kind, so gracious, and incredibly supportive as I figured it out. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
creating a space where people going through tough times could find encouragement.
So this week, we're going to talk about strengthening our faith. Now, you may be thinking, but I have faith. Like, that's all that's required. That's all I need to do. That's the first step. So having faith and not strengthening it is like playing the game of Monopoly, but never leaving the starting spot. You're in the game, but you're not really in it. Like, you have gained nothing, you've earned nothing, you've just done the basic requirement. So it's important for us to strengthen our faith. And in this day and time, like, life has gotten real, okay? Life has gotten real, and there are tests and difficulties and so much that comes at us on a daily basis. So why not use the cheat code, right? In this game of life, it seems like there's so many twists and turns, but if we're honest, we have the cheat code in Christ. We have the cheat code. We just fail to access it. So what sense does it make to have the answers to the test and not use them? That's why we got to strengthen our faith.
Every single thing she did pointed back to one mission: showing people how to recognize their purpose through the lens she believed God intended. Right around this time, she just accepted a position as lead photographer and editor at Eagle Harbor Public Affairs. Everything in her world was aligning. Around this time, she met Cola Winborne Beale, who had a serious criminal history. Back in 2013, he entered a guilty plea for robbery, conspiracy, and using a firearm while committing a felony. The court sentenced him to 5 years. 4 years after his release, in 2017, he pleaded guilty to an offense involving a minor. That conviction meant he had to register as an offender and serve another year. Even while under probation supervision for these convictions, he got arrested for driving under the influence on Naval Station Norfolk in 2019. The federal court found him guilty and gave him 5 days. The history surrounding Cola went back even further. In 2014, his father, Cola Beale III, was convicted of being responsible for the passing of his wife.
Cola Beale IV was arrested last night in the Buckrow area of Hampton. The 30-year-old is charged with killing those 3 people over the last week. Today we're learning more about his troubled past and a family history of violence. Now facing charges of killing 3 people, we're learning more about Cola Beale IV. First, we learned that his father, Cola Beale III, is currently in prison for killing his wife back in 2014. Police said back then that at least once before the murder, they had responded to the couple's Maryland home for a domestic dispute. At the time, neighbors couldn't believe what had happened.
I was just a bit shocked, stunned. It's sad. It's a sad situation.
June Beale, Cola's stepmother, was discovered in their Maryland residence with serious injuries. Authorities arrested his father, secured a conviction in 2015, and handed down a 25-year sentence. Police records showed they'd responded to domestic situations at that address before, but nothing prevented what ultimately occurred. Growing up in that environment, Cola witnessed violence, and that pattern eventually emerged in his own actions. Still, Xavier saw potential in Cola that most people didn't. Reports indicate they'd been in a relationship for about 15 months, sharing her townhouse on Baccalaureate Drive in Virginia Beach. On his birthday, she wrote, "It's your day. Thank you for being so patient, so loving, and so kind. It's hard to find the words to express how much you mean, but I will keep writing until it feels like enough. You have the biggest heart I know. Your love for me leaves me speechless. Your support is endless. Your smile and your laugh are contagious. Just the thought of you as I write this makes me smile from ear to ear. Thanks for keeping me on my toes, for being everything I needed and more. As you close out your 20s, remember with God, nothing is impossible. Every dream in your heart will come to pass, and every desire is already yours. Your best days are ahead of you. Cheers to 30, to more birthdays, and to more Dollar Tree runs. Happy birthday, King." On September 20th, 2021, Xavier shared a message celebrating their anniversary. Her words read, "Happy anniversary to you, my love. Listen, I am not easy to deal with, but you are a champ. But seriously, thank you for making my days better. Completely and wonderfully as you have. We've grown so much over this past year. We've challenged each other, we've learned together, we've gotten it right and we've gotten it wrong. Through all the highs and lows, we stuck together. You're my person, my best friend, and the love of my life. I love you more than all the water and all the oceans and all the world. Happy anniversary and cheers to many, many, many more years together." Throughout the early months of 2022, Cola maintained his own social media presence with posts that suggested personal growth. On February 20, 2022, he wrote, "Doubt has an incredible role in building your faith." Xavier noticed the post and asked him to elaborate. His response talked about how doubt connects to growth and time, how understanding what enters and exits your life requires patience, and how facing your own setbacks can ultimately build stronger faith. Just 3 days after that exchange, on February 23, 2022, he posted, "Behind every great man there is a great woman." Then on March 12, 2022, he shared something that reflected on his upbringing and how it shaped his worldview, especially compared to Xavier's. His post read, "People who were raised in love see the world differently than people raised on survival." On the surface, everything appeared to be heading in a positive direction. Beneath all that, pressure was mounting. Xavier's new job was about to start. Her business kept expanding, she was stepping into a new chapter, and naturally her parents had questions. The kind of questions any concerned parent would ask. What does he do for income? How does he contribute? What plans does he have? Cola had no solid answers, and he recognized that. According to reports, he interpreted these questions as attacks. He maintained that for over a year he'd been supporting Xavier in every way. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, and managing the weight of her responsibilities while her parents rarely visited. Now that she was making progress, he felt her mother was stepping in, challenging his worth, and pushing Xavier to distance herself from him. From his perspective, outsiders were trying to control her movements when he believed he'd been the constant support in her life. Adding to his frustration, Cola was navigating issues with his probation. 4 years of probation supervision related to serious offenses had created ongoing tension. By mid-March 2022, the situation had intensified. Reports suggest Cola and Xavier spent an entire week talking through her upcoming job transition. For nearly a year they'd been working together in that house, building their businesses, handling finances, mapping out their future. But her mother's calls kept coming, focused on what Cola would do once Xavier returned to work. Every time they seemed to reach some stability, an outside voice disrupted it. The pressure brought Xavier to tears multiple times that week. On Tuesday, March 22, 2022, they argued.
They probation officers didn't do their job. So they reset my probation for a low when I won't really have to see my probation officer for like every 3 months to every day, two house visits to me showing up to the office once a month. Like I had to reset my whole life again. Like I just came home, so I figured, hey, you know what I mean? If y'all can keep putting this pressure on me for some shit I ain't doing, I might as well be doing some shit and y'all can hear me. So that was another reason. That was a whole other reason. I told you each person had a different reason why I did it. It won't just like I just woke up and said I'm gonna kill my girlfriend. It won't like that. You know what I mean? It was the outsiders. It was her mom who was trying to like orchestrate her into moving away from me when I had been there for her daughter the whole time while I wasn't nobody around. I had been staying there at the house with her for almost 2 years. I ain't seen them but 2 times come to the house. So she didn't even want to start a new job. She asked me if I was cool with her starting a new job. I was like, yeah, why not? I was about to start my business. But it comes to her mom, like she asked her just like this. She said, well, what about him? He ain't working, but he providing for himself, but what about him? What he gonna do? So it started messing with her. She started breaking down, crying, all that other stuff. And now I'm in there taking care of her because her mom called her crying about that. So
Cola admitted he grabbed Xavier's pet, intending harm, but she pleaded with him to stop.
The dog died in a fire, but I let the dog live because that's what she told me to do. She said, look, don't hurt him. Know what I mean? I was going to set him on fire. She said, don't hurt him. He had nothing to do with this. This is all my fault. This is me. She said it was her fault because she let her mom come in and kind of mess with her head. I said, look, man, don't you? I said, so that's how you feel. She was like, look, whatever you're going to do to him, do it to me. So that's when I shot her in the head.
Following the incident, Cola left her there in the house. On Wednesday, March 23rd, Xavier's mother made the drive from Suffolk to her daughter's townhouse. Cola had taken Xavier's phone and was responding to her mother's messages, pretending to be Xavier. Through the home security system, he watched her mother arrive, remain in the vehicle, never approach the entrance. She had access to enter but chose not to.
And what really pissed me off was I had killed her on Tuesday when we got into it. So Her mom pulled up to the house on Wednesday. I had her phone. I'm texting her mom back and forth like I'm hurt. And she knew something was wrong. But remember, I told you I ain't seen her twice in the whole almost 2 years come to the house. So her mom drives to the house. I'm watching you on camera pull up. You drove all the way about 30 minutes to the house from Suffolk to see if she was okay. You had a key to the house. You did not go in the house to see if she was okay. So that already told me you really ain't care, but you cared enough to say something to her about me, to fuck up what we had going on. So now, I was like, fuck it, that pissed me off even more. So I'm like, look, I'm gonna set that shit on fire. I don't even care. Because you didn't even care to open up the door to see if she was alright. She been in there. So that's when I went back and did that. Set that on fire, set the car on fire. You know what I mean? I even ran through the fire trying to get out. I almost got locked into the fire.
In Cola's mind, this confirmed his belief that her family's concern wasn't genuine. If she'd opened that door, she would have found her daughter. On Thursday, March 24, 2022, Cola came back to the townhouse and started a fire. Fire crews arrived at the 5500 block of Baccalaureate Drive, near Virginia Wesleyan University. After putting out the flames and entering the building, they found Xavier's body. What began as a fire response instantly changed into a criminal investigation. Evidence showed she'd been shot, and someone had deliberately set the house ablaze. One day after that, on March 25, 2022, Cola traveled to 73-year-old Clifton Baxter's residence on Linda Court in Virginia Beach. Clifton was someone Cola called father. After Cola's biological father received his prison sentence, Clifton stepped into that role, raising Cola for 15 years. Clifton had served in Vietnam and was fighting late-stage cancer when Cola arrived at his home. Cola shot him, explaining that betrayal drove his actions. According to his account, whenever he'd asked Clifton for financial help, Clifton insisted he had nothing to offer.
Well, I thought I shot my pops in the head. I thought I shot my stepdad in the head. You know what I mean? They was all scattered through the house.
20 guns?
Yeah, about 20 guns and about $20,000.
And, earlier you said you don't feel remorse. Why don't you?
Nah, for what? I mean, I'm about to, you know what I mean? I'm not living no more. I'm just here. I'm just in jail right now. Had I just got into a shootout with the U.S. Marshals, I would have been dead or still on the run if they ain't finished me. So I wouldn't even be sitting right here in front of you. I just sit right here in front of you because the house that was next to me in the Airbnb had 2 little boys in it and a family, and I knew they was in the house, so I knew if I came out shooting, there was a chance they could have got killed. I ain't want my kids to get killed. So I ain't even come out shooting. I let the shorty go, and I just walked out. I mean, I ain't even do it. I could have shot it out to the death. It ain't matter.
But after the incident, Cola discovered somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000 in Clifton's safe. In Cola's view, Clifton had been dishonest the entire time. He'd told investigators all he needed was $1,000 to stabilize his situation, but Clifton claimed to have nothing. Days passed before a friend, concerned about Clifton's silence, contacted police requesting a welfare check. The friend assumed Clifton's cancer might have progressed. Officers entered and found Clifton gone. Downing McLean, Cola's 32-year-old cousin, had accompanied him to Clifton's residence and witnessed everything. According to Cola, Downing saw what happened to both Xavier and Clifton, and his reaction was laughter.
I just want my family to know if I don't talk to them ever again, that I know y'all feel some type of way about it, but I have no remorse about it. I tried calling, but I have no remorse about it. I did not just kill my cousin just to kill him. I was out there to help him kill some people that wanted to kill him. But instead of doing that, he put my life in jeopardy, and now he ended up getting killed by me because he wanted to move in circles and scream and try to beat on his girlfriend and all that in front of me. And I was in the house with him for at least, 48 hours. And for him to even go off and keep going off, and I told him I just killed 2 people, and you seen both of the bodies, and you laughed at him. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I ain't trying to hear it. So yes, I blacked out on him. I told him, look, stop, calm down. Whole bunch of yelling, he raging. So I said, all right, bet. So when I went in the kitchen, I just headshot him, and then he ain't dropped, so I shot him in the back. So just for that, the family knew it. So all I can say is I hope and I hope that my son be better than me, and he ain't got to worry about having a name, but be stronger than me and do better and make sure he take care of his family. At least he got a chance.
Cola described Downing treating the situation like a joke, which bothered him. Despite that response, Cola and Downing remained together over the following days. Cola said Downing asked for help dealing with people who'd been making threats against him. Since Cola had already crossed certain lines, Downing thought Cola could assist with handling those threats. Over the next 48 hours, Downing's behavior became increasingly concerning. Cola described him as drinking, creating disturbances, and spiraling out of control. He kept provoking others and speaking recklessly. Cola claims he repeatedly told Downing to settle down, but Downing wouldn't listen. On Monday, March 28, 2022, Cola shot Downing twice. Detectives investigating Xavier's case started connecting these incidents, identified Cola as a person of interest, and launched a search. Cola ran, bringing Downing's girlfriend along, and held her against her will. When her family reached out, he directed her to appear normal. He secured an Airbnb rental in Hampton's Buckrow Beach area. Authorities issued a public notification. They distributed his photograph and announced a $10,000 reward for information leading to his location. The U.S. Marshals Service joined forces with Virginia Beach Police, Norfolk Police, and Hampton Police to coordinate the search effort. On March 30, 2022, the Hampton Police Division SWAT team positioned themselves around the Airbnb where Cola was staying. Cola had finished showering and was preparing for bed when he heard a large vehicle approaching. He surrendered without resistance.
We all grew up together in church, singing in the choir.
He met Cola Beale a few months before the man went on a killing spree in Virginia Beach and Norfolk. McAllister says it's no surprise McLean's family didn't show up to court on Friday.
Well, it's hard to take when your nephew kills your son. That's probably one of the reasons why, and they probably didn't want to just face the whole situation again. It's tragic for me. And I'm not even a part of the family. I'm just a longtime friend. So I know what they're going through. Mother's son shoots first cousin, which is her brother's son. That's not a easy pill to swallow.
Cola acknowledged having additional targets in mind, describing them as people who'd wronged him. Before he could pursue any of that, law enforcement intervention stopped him. Less than 24 hours following his arrest, he agreed to an on-camera interview from the Virginia Beach Correctional Center. He admitted to everything. When reporters asked why he chose to speak publicly, Cola explained that usually when something like this occurs, the person responsible never gets the opportunity to share their perspective. He made clear he felt no remorse for his actions. In March 2024, Cola's trial began in Virginia Beach for charges connected to Xavier's and Clifton's passing.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin at 6 with the trial of a man accused of those 3 deaths in Norfolk and Virginia Beach.
Cola Beale IV faces a long list of charges in connection with this string of killings. All 3 happened within days of each other, almost exactly 2 years ago. Among the charges, aggravated murder, arson, and torturing an animal to death. Beale spoke to the media from jail after his arrest. Now a jury in Virginia Beach will hear the chain of events leading up to 2 of those deaths. 10 on your side's Kiana Patterson joins us live from the Beach Courthouse with day 1 of this case. Kiana?
Yes, well, Cola Beale admits to all of those killings and the crimes in both a jailhouse interview with us back in 2022 and Xavier Hill was a minister, college grad, and homeowner. Her last words were "take me," as she pleaded with her boyfriend, Cola Beale, on March 22, 2022. Beale admits to tying up her hands, then shooting her in the head during an interview with the lead homicide detective on the case. Beale says he killed Hill because her family was interfering with their relationship, but mainly he was upset about his probation from a previous sex battery charge. Beale also admits to killing the man he calls his dad, Clifton Baxter, because Baxter wouldn't give him money, setting Hill's house, car, and dog on fire, then killing his cousin. During the interrogation, he kept saying he felt like he wasn't being heard. His defense attorney says Beale was stressed and dealing with a lot of anxiety. The jury saw several Ring camera videos from Hill's home. In one, you can hear an argument before a loud boom. Then you don't hear Hill's voice again. Another video shows Hill's mom stop by the house but doesn't come inside. Another clip shows Beale going inside of the house with a gas can, wearing a towel over his face.
My brother was kind of hardcore, but he was fair, he was honest, If he saw that you help yourself, he don't mind helping you. But Mr. Beale won't work and won't try to find a job.
Baxter's sister says she was not surprised by Beale's actions and believes justice was served in his conviction.
Yes. Yes, I do. But I wish they had the death penalty.
The Commonwealth also shows the gruesome pictures of Hill's home after Bill set it on fire with gasoline, with her body and dog still inside. The photos were hard for her family to look at.
I'm just so sorry because Miss Hill's daughter was very pleasant. She was very loving, and her little dog was just as cute as a button. I'm sorry that that happened to her, you know, that she lost her daughter in that manner.
The charges included 2 counts related to their passing, 2 arson counts, 2 counts involving illegal firearm use, plus 3 additional charges. After several days, the jury delivered guilty verdicts on every charge.
With one word, guilty. That was today's verdict for Cola Beale IV. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Tom Shad.
And I'm Maria Elena Baloris. Beale is now convicted of 8 charges, 2 counts of aggravated murder, 2 counts of arson, abduction, torturing an animal to death, and gun charges. 10 on your side's Kiana Patterson joins us live with details from court. Kiana?
Yes, Beale may spend the rest of his life in prison for the aggravated murders of his girlfriend and the man he calls Pops. Now, during the guilty verdict, while it was being read, he yelled out in court. Then the judge ordered him out of the courtroom. But this really made the victims' families upset. They started to cry when he did that. Guilty on all charges. As the Virginia Beach Sheriff's deputy places cuffs on Cola Beale IV, he yells out, "Can y'all get this over with?" A similar attitude he had during an interrogation video with Virginia Beach homicide detectives.
I knew she seen some shit, so I was like, nah, it don't need for you to even be going nowhere. So I made her stay with me.
What happened to Xavier?
Says Xavier talking about Xavier?
Yeah, Xavier. I apologize.
She dead, ain't she?
She is. What happened?
She's dead. I killed her.
How'd you kill her, man?
Huh?
How'd you kill her?
At the end of the day, man. So, like, it was like a build-up for real. Like, I had a lot of build-up, man. There was a lot of build-up that shit just triggered me, man. It was a build-up, man. Everything was perfect. Getting ready to start my business. You know what I mean? I was looking into some new business goals, fixing up on my truck, a whole bunch of cash. It just started to go downhill when her parents tried to like orchestrate our relationship. Like, she was doing good without them trying to orchestrate our relationship.
Doing good.
Everything was
you
perfect.
guys.
Yeah, everything was perfect. I put her in buying a house, all that shit. Like they just came in and like they kept making her break down. She going through depressed moments, like breaking down, crying and shit. Behind her moms, you know what I mean, keep calling her, talking about me because I get money and I ain't have to work. I was getting money whatever I was doing. But it's crazy. You don't respect somebody's relationship. We had been good for almost 2 years. Like, y'all jump in a relationship. Y'all don't know what shit I'm taking over here. Y'all not even nowhere by. Y'all nowhere near us. Like, y'all all the way out in this Suffolk, Chesapeake, or Portsmouth, wherever the area is. Why are y'all trying to orchestrate my relationship? And she's happy with me. So now that you speaking to her, you call her crying on the phone, you got her up and down and shit. And my life already hectic. I was living with a sex charge that I ain't even commit. I took a polygraph for this shit. And when I took a polygraph for this shit, they found out that I ain't even do the shit and I'm still wearing the shit. Probation officer can't even get me to go in court to let the shit go. So since I came home in 2018, I've been wearing a sex charge for some shit I ain't do. This whole time. I can't even do half the shit I want to do. I lose 2 jobs behind probation. And then when they find out that I really ain't do the shit, then they still talk to me and treat me like I'm a motherfucking sex offender that did the shit. Oh, we can't help you. But y'all can help me wear this motherfucking charge because I took a plea. Then they said I did the shit when I was 11 years old. Who the fuck get a sex charge at 11 years old? So I got found guilty of a fucking charge that I would have got found guilty of at 11 years old at 26. And they did not one time look into that shit. So now I'm trying to live my life after doing 6 years from robbing and all that shit. Now I'm trying to get my life in order. So I lost 2 jobs behind probation. Then now when they come to the crib, I've been good. Just a couple of days ago, they told me they want to come in the house and check and see how I'm doing. I've been good.
Do that probation?
Yeah, I've been good. I ain't been fucking up. I could have been like raised hell, but I've been good. I ain't starting no problems with nobody. But don't nobody want to hear me. Don't nobody want to speak up on my behalf. Don't nobody want to tell them that, hey, this girl lied on me and I'm wearing a sex charge for some shit I ain't fucking do. Know what I mean? Ain't nobody even trying to clear shit up with the family. So when the family trying to come forward and be like, we got you, they ain't never had my motherfucking back. My mom was there. My brother tried to come through, but he couldn't how to do what he wanted to do. Why? Because his daughter lied on me and said I did some shit around her when I was like 10 or 11. What the fuck? So how I'm going to live my life with a sex charge? I just lived my life in the penitentiary. I was in there 3 years, in the jail 3 years. I was gone 6 years. I come home, I'm wearing a motherfucking sex charge for some shit I ain't do. That's enough shit to make me want to kill a whole bunch of shit. How you like living with some shit you ain't do?
I agree.
And then they put me on a fucking polygraph, and the polygraph let them know I ain't do the shit. But I'm still getting carried like that. Now y'all want to come in the house. I've been on probation for 4 years. They ain't coming that bitch not one time, and I ain't never been at that motherfucking house.
Which one was that? Baccalaureate?
Nah, at 701. I ain't never stayed at that bitch one time. But ain't one time they said they want to come in. Now y'all treat me like I'm the motherfucker that did the shit. Now I'm going to do some shit. Now I'm going to fuck up some shit. Now I'm going to get all the guns, and now I'm going to kill everything. Why? Because ain't nobody trying to hear me. But they hear me now when I start killing this shit. They hear me now. It's crazy. Family want to get on the news and talk about, oh, we wish you come forward. Where the fuck was you at when I needed y'all and y'all put to clear my fucking name? To live a real life. To start my motherfucking business. Well, nobody around to hear me then. They only be quiet, don't say shit. But you let this whole female goddamn lie on me and make me live with some shit for the rest of my life? So fuck it. If I was to kill family, and then like family was trying to ride for me anyway.
In your family? Yeah,
it wasn't like they were trying to ride for me anyway. If I'm gonna live with some shit, I might as well live with some shit that I know I did, some shit that I know I'm gonna goddamn face. And however it go, at least I know I can say I did that shit, not that bullshit I had to wear since goddamn I've been home for 4 years.
Loved ones of the victims gave their impact statement.
My brother was kind of hardcore, but he was fair, he was honest. If he saw that you help yourself, he don't mind helping you. But Mr. Beale won't working and won't trying to find a job. Just so sorry because Miss Hill's daughter was very pleasant. She was very loving, and her little dog was just as cute as a button.
The judge handed down 3 life sentences for Xavier's and Clifton's passing and for setting Xavier's residence on fire. More than 60 additional years were added for the remaining charges. About a month later, Cola faced trial in Norfolk for charges related to Downing McLean's passing. Before proceedings began, the Commonwealth's attorney extended a plea offer. Accepting would mean a single first-degree charge with a life sentence running concurrent with his existing sentences, essentially adding no extra time. Cola declined and proceeded to trial. His defense argued that Downing's passing was separate from the Virginia Beach incidents and lacked premeditation. The prosecution countered with evidence, including Cola's confession, acknowledging that while Downing may have been involved in the Virginia Beach incidents and wasn't innocent, he deserved to be handled through the legal system. The court sentenced Cola to a 4th life sentence, consecutive to the previous 3, plus 5 additional years. Combined, Cola Beale is now serving 4 life sentences plus 68 years. Following his second conviction, Cola gave another interview. This time he claimed that during his initial March 2022 confession he didn't understand what he was saying. His attorney mentioned plans to appeal the Virginia Beach convictions.
There's certain things that were expected due to the nature of the charges. He has since expressed to me his remorse for his transgressions.
Though no final outcome has been reached on that appeal. Looking back at one of Xavier's posts, she once wrote, "Love on the people around you. It's sad to think about it, but we can have life today and be a memory tomorrow. The world keeps spinning and so does crime. Stay observant, listen to your instincts, and don't ignore the warning signs. I'll see you in the next case on Crime on Pulse. Thanks for watching.